the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce has over 100 annual in-person program each and every year. So plenty of opportunities to sign up for those programs. The Women in Business programs meet quarterly. And we also are working on networking at night for Women in Business in May. And then that all concludes with our annual conference each and every year. So enough from me. We're going to turn over to the Women in Business now. I want to again thank our sponsor, the Savings Bank. And I'm going to introduce Allie Houghton of the Savings Bank.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for lunch. I'm Allie Houghton. I am the marketing coordinator of the Savings Bank, and we are very excited to be back sponsoring the Women in Business lunches for 2023. I'm going to introduce our sponsor today. As the executive director of North of Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau, Nancy oversees membership-based non-for-profit destination marketing organization that supports economic development by promoting the 34 communities of Essex County as a premier year-round destination, attracting travelers from around the world to our part of the world to enjoy all of our region offers for vacations, group tours, small meetings, incentives, sports, events, weddings, and more. Nancy's work in the nonprofit sector includes economic and business development marketing, community organizations, and program development. She serves as the co-chair for the Massachusetts Regional Tourism Councils and is a business mentor with SCORE. And she's also passionate about small businesses in our region. So please welcome Nancy.
Good afternoon. How is everyone? Good. Well, as I was reading that introduction, I need to improve my initial bio right out of the gate, because when I heard those words, I thought, if I weren't plugged into my business, I would have no idea what any of those things meant. So I'm going to take just a minute and redefine for you what it is that I do. But first I want to thank Michael and of course Joe for inviting me to be here today. I see some familiar faces now because I've had the pleasure of serving on the board here for the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce since last fall and attending some events. So it's great to be addressing what I hope is a friendly crowd. So my name is Nancy, and I'm the director of the North of Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau, and it took me 6 months to be in the job before I could get that full name out in one breath. We are a Convention and Visitors Bureau without a convention center. So a peculiar name, but what we do all day, every day, is support business in our community through tourism marketing. All right, now when I talked to folks at the Haverhill Chamber, they said, oh, that's so cute. Haverhill's really not a tourism destination. But they were wrong. And I could show them tourism spending in Haverhill that returns itself through tax revenue raised. Tourism is actually the third largest industry in Massachusetts. Millions of people spend billions of dollars in Massachusetts businesses because they believe that Massachusetts is one of the premier destinations in the world. So there are 50 states in the United States. Guess where Massachusetts ranks for people in the United States to travel of those 50 states? Anybody guess? One. Oh, God, you guys are killing me. You're supposed to say like 20. It's actually 6. Out of all the states in the country, for domestic travelers, Massachusetts is the 6th most popular. Can you guess for international? 8 or 9, depending on the year. So for all the travelers traveling around the world, Massachusetts is in a top 10 destination. Now, admittedly, part of that is Because people coming from European countries, it's a short trip for them. It's the shortest transatlantic trip. But also, because Massachusetts has so much to offer, and people like me tell other people about that. So why do we do it? Because in 2019, so pre-COVID, travelers spent $1.4 billion in Essex County alone. Just in Essex County. How do we measure travelers? That's people coming from 50 miles away or more and spending at least 6 hours. So we're not talking about people who are driving up 495 and get off the highway and use a bathroom, get their gas, go to McDonald's, and go away. We're talking about people who come from 50 miles or more and spend at least 6 hours. $1.4 billion just in Essex County, supporting over 9,000 jobs. This is a strong industry. Travelers not only stay in hotels, not only go to restaurants, not only go to attractions like the Museum of Printing and others, Winnikinny Castle. I'm a New Haven resident. Not only those things, but they go to gas stations, they go to pet supplies, they get their nails done, they get their hair done, they hire babysitters, they go to pet supply stores, they go to Target, they go to retail shopping, they go and they buy their cannabis. Tourism is big money. So when I tell you about the third largest industry, what I'm saying is that our job is to convince people who earn their money elsewhere to spend it here. And why that's important for Massachusetts is because meals and occupancy tax in 2019, $100 million was returned to local municipalities through meals and occupancy tax in Essex County alone. That occupancy and meals tax return to local municipalities can be used to fund whatever is important in your city or town. It can be used to repair roads, for education, for whatever the priorities are. Tourism helps to support those things. So that's why we're in this business. How do we do it? We seduce people with the romance of Essex County. That's right. Any month out of the year, I can talk to people about why Essex County, the North Shore, and Haverhill, and surrounding communities are the place they want to be. We do this through dynamic advertising. We do it by inviting bloggers, influencers, travel agents, and more to come and see the area themselves and show them gems, and then they tell everyone they know and all their followers. We do it by talking to groups one-on-one. We do it by training industry people in how to increase their business and get a piece of that $1.4 billion visitor spend. We do it by bringing people together, by lifting our industry as a community, and lifting our communities by the visitor spending. We're a membership-based organization, so we love to have as many members as possible, but make no mistake, member or not, every small business in Essex County benefits through the efforts of the North of Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau, because we're driving that visitor spending. We are actually located in the cinder block bunker that I bet everyone has gone to, driven past, right on Route 95, right at the New Hampshire border. When people are coming from New Hampshire southbound on 95, right at the Welcome to Massachusetts sign is a visitor information center. And that is our home. Our offices are located there, but it's also an actual visitor center that we staff so that we actually see, in addition to being out in the world and promoting economic spending in our region, we actually help over 300,000 people a year who walk in. So they drive into our parking lot and they're still in New Hampshire. And they literally step in our front door and they cross over to Massachusetts. And we are the face that they see. And we provide comfort through restrooms, but then we have the opportunity to talk to them about all that they can see and do. And we start with lunch. Are they traveling with kids? Are they adults on their own? Is it summer? Is it winter? What price point do they like? Do they have a special craving for something? Oh, and by the way, when they get to that restaurant that we recommend in a neighboring community, we'll tell you 5 other things that you can do while you're there. Don't have a place to stay yet? Let us make some recommendations. Looking for something to do later? Have a little adventure? Let us tell you about it. Perhaps you're into history and culture and that's why you've come this way. Maybe you're on your way to Florida. Let's slow you down. Spend a little money right here in Massachusetts. That's what we do. So we are lifting the profile of small businesses. We are helping to support over 9,000 jobs. And therefore, we are lifting up all of our 34 communities. Admittedly, some more than others. But we are lifting all of those communities by driving those vacationers' money back into our communities. And that's why tourism is the 3rd largest industry in Massachusetts, and why I have learned to say North of Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau in one breath. Because the work that we do, whether people know it or not, touches all of our small businesses. So thanks for having me today. Can I answer any questions, make any referrals?
What's the main reason out of all of the reasons why people come to Essex County?
So, that's a great question. Thank you for asking. I literally just read a report last night. So we get data, we get travel data from the state. But we also get data from other partners. And I was reading a study where 11,000 people had been surveyed last summer and fall who had come into the area, had landed in Boston, and then traveled around the greater Boston area, which were included. And some of the reasons are things that you would expect. A lot of people come to visit family or friends, take their kids on vacation. But what are they looking for? They're really interested in culture, heritage sites, history. Well, that's us, right? And they're really interested in food. Oh, that's so us. And then they want experiential travel. What does that mean? They want to be hands-on. They want to be at doing. Oh, we've got that in spades. And some people talk about, and I love hearing this, and I think that we'll all hear more and more about this, is some people talk about, they love that Massachusetts is so green and backs so much green technology. And so having some sustainable tourism options is important to people, and it's of a growing importance. Now, if people have to choose between comfort and sustainability, they choose comfort every day of the year. But it's still something that is growing. And Massachusetts, having that as one of its largest industries, it's interesting to me to have read that sustainability in tourism was important. What else can I tell you about?
What's the #1 attraction that they go to?
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. So, we're lucky in Essex County that we have some anchor communities that are very well known. Salem, Gloucester, Newburyport. Sometimes those anchor communities are the reason that people head this way. But they branch out. Really, truly, trust me, they branch out. And part of what I need to do is to be able to tell them about the 31 other communities in our footprint, in addition to those anchors. So it's great that we have those to get people here. And if we have to pull a single one, it's Salem. But Salem would be very grateful for me to do a better job promoting them, December through August, and not just that autumn. You guys live here, you know, summer, fall, those are our two best seasons to attract visitors, right? Everybody comes as a family in the summer, and then in the fall, there's some families tend to go more adults with really young children, not subject to that school calendar, or adults traveling on their own, right? Dump off the kids, let's go travel. Massachusetts, in this new administration, has realized that the revenue, that basically tourism's a cash cow. The tax revenue generated from tourism is huge. So they don't want that drop off anymore in the fall. They'd really love to see more tourism in that softer season, that November to April, right? And we want to see it as well because we want people staying overnight. We want people in restaurants. We want our retail supported. We want our attractions supported. We want those jobs to be year-round, robust jobs. And so the state of Massachusetts Tourism Office has actually recently awarded us a grant to try to do just that. So I think that you will see more, hopefully you'll hear on your radio and you'll see on your computer screen, and you'll maybe see a little bit on TV as well, more about things to do locally in that November to April timeframe. Year-round, year-round. I can sell it. I can sell Essex County year-round. And you might wonder why. Why would somebody choose Essex County as a place to go to in the dead of winter? Well, they'll come because I'll let them know what the hidden gems are. I'll let them know how cozy it can be or what outdoor adventure they could have. Do you know that this weekend in Gloucester, there's a huge ornithology birding thing? But they're not connecting the people who come with that with the local hotels, because I just found out about it. But next year at this time, we'll be filling hotel rooms in Gloucester and the surrounding area with all of those people who are going to come to see about the birds. And they don't want to come in July. They want to come now when they have everything to themselves. So our job is to bolster that. Again, it's all about the small businesses succeeding. It's all about your favorite restaurant doing well and being able to stay open. Let's face it, almost everybody's industry has really hurt in the last 3 years. They've been affected. If they didn't have to close or have huge restrictions, they're facing staffing challenges. And again, your North of Boston Convention and Visitors Bureau is all about helping them solve those problems.
Can you share with us where our visitors are coming from?
Thank you for asking. So, our primary domestic visitors are coming from New England, as you would imagine. They're also coming from that mid-Atlantic region. And for us, that's really Washington, D.C., Pennsylvania, Delaware, New Jersey, New York. New York loves Massachusetts. They don't love the Red Sox, but they love Massachusetts. So that's what we consider our drive market. We have a ton of people who come south from Canada. Tons. It's our highest international visitor. Of course, that's no surprise. We have tons of daily flights to and from Toronto and Montreal, but most Canadians are coming on vacation via car. People in Montreal would think nothing of, I can be in Boston for dinner, and getting in their car and going. We also, about 20% of our visitor spending comes from international travelers. As you would imagine, folks from the UK and Ireland are big coming to our area, but so are most Western European countries. And people from European countries in the UK are used to traveling. They like to travel. It's a priority in their lives. They would rather live in smaller dwellings more modestly and travel several times a year. And the international market is important to us because they tend to stay on vacation longer and spend more money when they go. They also help us to feel more global, don't they? Don't you love hearing an accent when you're walking down the street and knowing that someone has saved and dreamt about vacationing right here and they're making their dream come true? And a smile from you, hi, where are you visiting from? Yes, I can give you directions. You can make their day. You can make us even more popular in real life than we are on paper. So our website is northofboston.org. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Visit North of Boston. And take a look, see if there's a place for your business or your group or your event on our website. And if you can't find it, give me a call. I'd love to help you promote the activities and the events and the places that you feel are special in your community.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you all again, and thank you to Nancy. We appreciate her taking the time out of our schedule to speak with us and our members today. And thank you all again for attending this Women in Business program. As I mentioned, this is a quarterly series. There's going to be networking programs for women in business coming up this year as well. And then obviously our big conference also, so make sure to keep an eye out for that. And enjoy the rest of your afternoons. We look forward to seeing the upcoming events. We look forward to seeing the expo as well. And if the chamber can ever be of any assistance to you or your business, give us a call or email anytime. But there's still plenty of time to network, still more lunch, so enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Thank you.